Attorney General has been granted a High Court order appointing a receiver over future income of future salary of school teacher Enoch Burke. The reporting in this case, this particular report I'm relying on, is from Mary Carolan in the Irish Times, mainstream media, with the purpose of collecting fines of €79,100, which is outstanding from Enoch Burke to the state. The judge, Justice David Nolan, he also made a conditional garnishee order or charging order over Mr. Burke's bank account. This is an account that's said to have a credit balance with a view to having the fines paid directly out of that account. The order effectively freezes Enoch Burke's bank account until next Tuesday, when Enoch Burke will have a chance to argue that the fines should not be deducted from his account. The judge decided that it was just and convenient to make an order appointing the receiver, Miles Kirby, by way of equitable execution over Mr. Burke's future salary. And this is quite unusual because a receiver is normally not appointed over future salary. He will give written reasons at a later date as to his judgment. As he began delivering his decision, the Isaac Burke, a brother of Enoch Burke, attempted to say something and interrupt the judge. The judge said that he had no right of audience and that the last time he permitted him to speak, he was entirely discourteous, according to the judge. When Mr. Burke continued, Isaac Burke continued to speak, the judge said he was holding him in contempt, but would regard silence as purging that contempt. Isaac Burke then stood silently, and the judge said he would regard the contempt as having been purged. Somebody else then at the back of the court tried to say something, but the judge told him that he was not entitled to. He had no right of audience. Enoch Burke's parents, Martina and Sean, and his sister Amy, were also in the court. They sat silently while the judge delivered his brief decision. After the judge finished, Isaac Burke attempted to ask a question about next Tuesday's hearing, but the judge left the bench. So it's in again for next Tuesday. Enoch Burke will have an opportunity to make his submission or arguments. Fact of the matter is, Enoch Burke has been continued to be paid his salary whilst he's on an administrative leave, because his appeal over his dismissal by the school has yet to be decided. So just to be clear, the school did terminate his employment in January, I think 23, with effect from April 23, but he appealed that decision and that appeal has yet to be determined. The Attorney General Senior Counsel said that the court, or the Attorney General, considered that the court did have the power to make the order that was being sought, and that there was no evidence that the order would be futile or mean hardship to Mr. Burke. There was a circularity to this matter in that Mr. Burke owes fines but is also receiving payments from the Department of Education, Senior Counsel said. The school and the Department of Education and Finance were separately represented on Tuesday and were granted their legal costs. So they were granted their legal costs against Enoch Burke. The court heard that Mr. Burke continues to turn up at the school on a daily basis and has also told the principal that he is reporting for work and ready for work. He has spent 512 days in prison during 3 separate periods over his contempt of a High Court order made by Mr. Justice Alexander Owens, ordering him to stay away from and not trespass on the school premises. Hope you find this video useful. If you do, I would appreciate if you hit the thumbs up button down below. Thanks a lot.